Shop for some unpainted wood nutcrackers at Hobby Lobby. Many nutcrackers have a hand that holds a club. Take a saw and carefully saw off the top and bottom of the club so you're left with only the nutcracker fist. And drill a hole through the top of the hand with the drill going clear through the bottom of the fist. Choose a spray paint color for your nutcrackers. I chose bear spray paint in a metallic bronze color. Once dry, it's time to add some embellishments. Take a thin taper candle, I found mine on Amazon, and push through the drilled hole. Now take a small, tiny green wreath and tie a red bow to the top. Slip it over the candle so the wreath hangs from the nutcracker wrist. So cute! While I was at Hobby Lobby, I also picked up this tiny black lantern in the Christmas aisle. Glue a little greenery with a tiny pine cone as well as some cranberries to the top of the lantern. A little dab of hot glue on the wrist of the nutcracker is all you need to secure the lantern. Charming! Some nutcrackers play drums, so their hands are not accessible. Instead, decorate the hat. These nutcrackers are fantastic for any style of home and the perfect addition to your holiday decorating.
Still showering in tap water full of chlorine and harsh chemicals? Meet Afina. Afina, the #1 dermatologist recommended filtered shower head. Our tap water is full of chemicals and chlorine that dry out your skin and damage your hair. But Afina changes that. Afina's patent-pending filter removes up to 98% of harmful chemicals, the most powerful filter you'll find in a shower head. It installs in just minutes, no handyman required. Replacing the filter? Even easier, just 2 minutes. Other shower heads can't compare. With Afina, you get cleaner, healthier water every time you shower. I can already feel the difference in my skin and hair. Don't wait. Check out the link in the description for your special discount on the Afina shower head today.
I have a piece of shelf here. You can see the holes from the bracket on the back, and I don't need it anymore, so I'm going to turn it into this fun holiday project. So what we want to start by doing is marking off our board, and I'm going to mark this off here, and then I'm going to make a little line at the top here. And I'm going to make 2 sections on either side, the width of my ruler as well. So now that I have 3 sections, I have this big section down here, the middle and the top. I'm going to go ahead and start painting my board. I want to make sure that I also go right over onto the side of my board. And for our project, we want to start, I'm going to use some Annie Sloan chalk paint. Because my board has a little bit of a coating on here, I'm going to use this paint because it sticks and adheres to just about everything. So I'm going to start by painting the bottom section of my board black, straight across here on that line I made. So I marked off my width of my ruler here, and I want to mark off 2 more little sections. So I'm going to just measure this part because I want this part to be equal on both sides. So I've got about 7.5 inches here, and I'm going to keep this section in the middle white so I don't have to worry about painting this section here. Now, because I'm not painting that section, if we want to make it nice and crisp, you can use some painter's tape like I was showing you before. I'm also going to put one just across the top here. Okay, so we've got our little section taped off here, and I love blues. I have blues all over my house, and so I'm going to use some of this gorgeous blue paint by Annie Sloan. It's called Obozon, and I'm just going to paint in these sections here. Now that my paint sections are dry, I'm going to go ahead and peel up my painter's tape here, and this is just a low tack painter's tape that I'm using. Now remember I said I want to leave this section white, so I'm not going to worry about that section, but I do want to paint these 2 edges as well as this top part. So I'm going to use my painter's tape again. Okay, so I've got my sides blocked off here. Now for these sections, I want to use the same blue that I used on the other sections, but I want to make it just a little bit darker. So I'm going to mix them on a plate here, and I want to use this, and I'm going to paint these side sections right down along my side here. With our darker blue sections dry here, now we want to move on to this block near the top. So I'm going to use my painter's tape again to block off this section that's white. And I'm gonna fill in this section with this peachy colored paint that I have ready to go here. And then I wanna start adding some little gold highlights, and I'm gonna use this metallic gold paint to do these. And I'm going to make some lines down here, and these are going to be our nutcracker's feet. And I'm going to paint in here. Since my blue is dry here, I want to add some buttons up and down. This is going to be his coat. Now I have my lines, so I'm just going to trace right over those lines. With these lines, you want to make sure that you do not go over onto the side, because these are like boot laces, so they wouldn't be over on the side. So I'm just doing all the little embellishments for his feet here, just on the top of my board. Now, while I've got this out too, I also want to connect these little buttons. So I want to make just like little chains between the buttons. So I'm just going to loop around. And then, while I still have my gold paint, I want to connect my buttons that I put on his hat as well. And I'm going to do a double chain on this one. Something else I wanted to show you here before we move and finish his face was that I wanted to add some little hands here. And I'm going to fill them in with that same peachy colored paint that we used to create his face. When I'm using pencil, it gives me a chance to kind of see it and play with it before I start to fill it in. Okay, so I've got my face there, just a rough outline. And what I want to do now is start filling it in. I do want to add some little rosy cheeks to my nutcracker. The next time you have an old piece of shelving or wood at home, I hope you'll grab it and some paint to make this super cute and easy holiday nutcracker. It is perfect for your porch, and your neighbors will definitely be jealous.
It's absolutely brilliant what I did with these closet doors I got for free from my local buy and sell group. I removed the good door on each side and gave it a quick sand, then I wiped it clean and applied primer. I taped off a few sections with painter's tape and applied black acrylic paint to the bottom and top sections and in the middle. Once dry, I painted the yellow in the middle for a buckle, and then I did a second coat of black on the top and the bottom. There was a lot of waiting for each coat to dry in between painting. I did a second coat of the red and added blue near the bottom. I removed the tape at the top and I added white acrylic paint on the remaining primed section. I made sure to do a second coat of paint for all of the colors, and I did a whole bunch of touch-up as well. I painted shoelaces in white and I did touch-ups throughout. I cut shapes out of felt sheets and hot glued it onto the face. I even hot glued some gold chain in the middle section and added yellow felt detail on the top. Can you believe I turned these old giant doors into nutcrackers? Perfect for decorating your front porch this holiday season. I hope this inspires you to get creative with doors.
For this super cool Christmas project, we're going to start with a concrete form tube. 12 inches will be just perfect for this. You can pick this up at any hardware store. First thing we got to do is make a base. This is 18 inches by 18 inches. We're going to find the middle at 9 inches and mark an X. We're going to use this starting point to go 1 inch on one side and 1 inch on the other. That's how we're going to measure for the legs of the nutcracker that we're going to put together. Now, this is the hard part. We've got to drill through the base 2 screws for each leg in order to hold it together. Once you do this, we got to put it upside down on top of the legs. That way we can screw through the bottom and into the legs. This will make it nice and sturdy. Once we got it secure, go ahead and turn it back over and you can see it's super strong. Next, we got to take the form tube that we have and cut out a piece of wood that'll fit on the inside. Once you mark it, cut just on the inside of the line, and that way it will form right over the tube. Once you got the cutout done, go ahead and drill 2 holes, 1 for each leg. Once you get these pilot holes drilled, you can go ahead and put the 2.5 inch screws in. This will make it super strong and it holds it. Next thing we got to do is put the tube on top of the wood. We're going to slide it right into place and drill some pilot holes that are going to go through the tube and into the side of the wood. Put some screws in that'll hold it in place. That'll again strengthen this right up and keep it where we need it. Next, let's go down on our 33-inch tube, down 11 inches. That's where we're going to put one of the arms. Our arms are made out of 3.5-inch PVC pipe. I picked up this foam piece from the Dollar Tree. Go ahead and slide it back and forth, and you're going to run some glue around it, and that's going to hold it in place. On top of the pipe, we're going to put a cap. This is going to be like the shoulder blade, part of the uniform. Put it right at that 11-inch mark, take some screws and drill it through, and it'll hold it in place. Once we got the arms on, it's time to prime it. Primer is so important on a project like this. You want the paint to stick and look good when it goes on. Primer is the way to do it. We're going to go through and prime everything on this project. It'll cover up the lettering, and we're also going to do the same for the wood, legs, and the base. Make sure you get it nice and even on there. While we're waiting for the primer to dry, I went ahead and grabbed a 5-gallon bucket that I painted black, and I started putting some gold bands around it. This is the top of the helmet. This one's going to get a shorter, skinnier band. I used some hot glue and put it right around the edge and go all the way around, putting the band in place. We can do this all the way around. Be careful not to burn yourself. Just put it as you go. On the bottom, I'm going to use a little bit of a thicker band. I want it to stand out a little bit. We're going to do it just like we did with the top. Put a little bit of hot glue and just work your way around. Make it nice and even, put it on. Once you get it all put on and ready to go, it's time to bring the project back in and look at that nice white primer on it. Gives you a blank canvas to start. Again, we're going to go down 11 inches. Mark it around because that's going to be where our head goes. The rest of it, which is 22 inches, will be our body. And this is where it gets exciting. We're going to start painting. Again, this is the head, so we're going to paint all the way around using our paint. Color choice. I use a foam brush. I get it to where it comes on and goes on nice and even. You're going to need multiple coats, so go ahead and just put it on kind of nice and light. Make it look good. Next we got to do is we got to work on his boots. We need to make sure the line is straight across. So I use a square to make a line crossed. Make sure they're both even. Once I do that, it's time to paint his jeans. And those are going to be blue. I went with a kind of a darker blue and put it on. As you can see, the first coat is not the best, but we're going to use multiple coats. 2 should do it. If you want to go with 3, go for it. Once we get this all on right where the boots are, it's time to put his laces on. We don't want them boots falling off. Again, use the same lace that he used for the top of the helmet, which is the bucket, and put some X's down there. We want to use some hot glue to put those on. Remember, go easy. We don't want to burn ourselves on that hot glue. Just make an X. Don't worry about the ends. I went ahead and painted some gold colored wood pieces that I got from the hobby store. Put those on, and we're going to go up and down the boot with it and give it just some nice design. Next, whenever paint joins another color, we want to put a ribbon around it. Just makes it look good and makes his uniform look spectacular. We're going to do this around his neck and then around his shoulder pads. We're going to go ahead and put some garland on. We got this from the Dollar Tree. Nice and inexpensive. Next, it's time to put that hair on that goes right over his ears. This one is from the Dollar Tree, and it's actually a dust mop. So I trimmed it to fit, put some hot glue on it, worked my way up, and glued it as I went up. And I can't believe how spectacular it turned out. Looks so good. Just goes right on there and sticks perfectly. Now it's time for the nose. Little piece of cut wood, hot glued on with a triangle look, and there it is. Looks great. Next, I outlined his whiskers. That's going to go on there for his mustache, and then we're going to use some black paint to paint it in. Go nice and slow on this. We want to make it look good. This is what's going to grab everybody's attention. Now that cut piece of dust mop that I used on the side of the head, I had a little bit left over. I'm going to use it for his goatee on the bottom. Now it's time to put him in place, give him his helmet, and look at that. This is our Nutcracker. I think I'm going to call him Blue Eyes because of the spectacular way we got his eyes to look. He just looks amazing standing there. And guess what? He turned out to be 6 foot tall. He stands guard over the Christmas tree and all the presents that'll come. I hope this inspired you to build your own life-size Nutcracker doll.
Who's ready for Christmas decor? I know I am. And this Dollar Tree hack is so simple and easy. Anyone can do it. So the first thing that I did was spray paint those little candle holder cups. Step 2 is to cut off the little wooden decorative pieces on all of the nutcrackers. This one's holding a set of drumsticks, so I just cut off one of the drumsticks. And what that did is it created a nice flat surface to glue the candle cup onto. So the next step is to go ahead and glue those little cups onto the nutcrackers. I will put the red candles in there just because I love the way that they look, but if I do decide to actually burn these, then I will put the LEDs and just light them with batteries. And here they are with the LED candles in 4 of them, and then the taper candle in the center one, just so you can see the difference. And I really love them. I think they look so cute. And let me show them to you with all taper candles as well.